So this is extremely important. When you start, always start with 4 to 5 tests which are done again and again. This is applicable to listening, this is applicable to reading, this is applicable to writing, this is applicable to speaking. I sent you a test and an evaluation today. Did you get a chance to see that? I sent you a Word file also in which I sent how a writing test is evaluated. And I sent you a video also of that evaluation. I don't think you would have got a chance to see that today. Has anyone seen that? So this girl comes with fantastic English skills. She speaks like a British person. Her accent is because she works with Brits. But when it comes to writing, she scores 6.5. I've advised the same thing to her. So it's not about good English, it's not about background, it's not about anything else. It's about understanding the IELTS test very clearly and practicing the structure as much as possible. If you can please put yourselves on mute right now in case you are not speaking, that will be great. There's a lot of background noise. So yeah, I would request you to put yourselves on mute, please. So I'm telling you, this is one technique which works very nicely. And take 3 to 4 tests. I've sent you this book 8. I'll be sending you some more tests today. Do those tests 3 to 4 times with absolute clarity. Once are done with them, you can move on to the next one. Now let us see. What are the ways the IELTS examiners try to confuse us? One is alien content. When you get alien content, how to deal with it? Today I'm going to tell you a super technique which works wonders. Yesterday, did I ask you this question? What is the best way to avoid a lion?
Yes.
What is the best way to avoid a lion?
Not to go to
To
jungle,
escape?
that you say.
Don't go to the jungle. So when you go and get the alien passage, what should you do? Don't read the passage. When I say don't read the passage, all I mean to say is that do not pay attention, too much attention to the passage itself. All right? Pay attention to the questions. So let's see how we can do this one. So if let me share the screen once again. Just give me 1 minute. I'm opening the book. Is the book visible to you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just opening that particular page where the passage was there. All right. So this is the passage. As I told you yesterday, when you start reading the passage, read the first paragraph, the last paragraph first, and then read the rest of it. And try to focus only on those things about which you know. Let me demonstrate this. Can human beings communicate through by thought alone? We are starting with a question. Can we communicate with thought alone? For more than a century, the issue of telepathy has divided the scientific community, and even today, it still sparks bitter controversy among top
Sir,
academics.
sir,
Yeah.
sir, there has been an issue. We are able to see the folder in which you have the file,
Oh, okay,
but we
okay.
aren't able to see the file itself.
Thank you for pointing that out. I'll show the file now. Thanks. So this is the file. Can you see it now?
No, sir.
It's still not visible?
Yeah. Yeah, it's visible now.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for pointing that out. So this is
Not
the file. This is there with you also. So they've started with a controversy. If I look at the introduction, this is very, very important. You start with the introduction, and when you read these three lines, it tells that we are still in the state of some unsolved puzzle. The puzzle is not yet solved. Right? Can human beings communicate by thought alone? They are asking a question. For more than a century, the issue of telepathy has divided the scientific community, and even today, it still sparks bitter controversy among top academics. Which means, from the past till date, there is a lot of controversy about it. It's still not solved. The problem is yet under discussion, like corona vaccine. you know there has been a lot of discussion and controversy about it. Different people have different therapies, but they have not yet come up with a vaccine which is like a foolproof one. Except for last 2 3 days, there has been some discussion that I think Pfizer has come up with some. So there is no solution to telepathy as of now. There is no common ground among various scientists. They are still discussing about it. Okay. I'll also read the first paragraph. Since this time, all these people, parapsychologists at various universities and research institutes around the world, have risked the derision of skeptical colleagues. Now, see, this is again one way of confusing you. They use very difficult vocabulary. Risked the derision of skeptical colleagues by putting the various claims for telepathy to the test in dozens of rigorous scientific studies. Should I tell you about a technique to deal with difficult vocabulary?
Yes, sir.
How how do you deal with difficult vocabulary like this? Are you able to understand the meaning of this sentence? Let me see. All of you, please read this paragraph, and if you can explain what is going on here, just maybe you can unmute and speak, or you can say yes. I would like to hear from you. Just read this first paragraph, please.
may I, sir?
Yeah, yes, yes, please go ahead.
It's just saying that since 1970s, the researchers or the scientists who are studying about telepathy, they are doing lots of experiments,
Yes.
and there are rigorous very implicated and tough scientific studies done on it.
Uh-huh.
But everyone is coming with a different conclusion. No one is able to point the means. No one is able to get the exact. Uh, no one is able to figure out the same.
Great, great, great. Do you know the meanings of these words? Derision, skeptical, all this?
Means I can just assume it is the
What is your
derision of
name?
Bandish. Bandish.
Bandesh, this is fantastic. This is the technique that I wanted to talk about. You're absolutely bang on. You're given
By looking at the previous and the after the next words, we can just assume that this can be the word.
this is the super jugaad which I wanted to point out. Don't even think about the difficult words. You can use the context to understand the content. He doesn't very clearly know the meaning of the word derision. मतलब हंसी उड़ाना होता है किसी का. And skeptical, you might know, right? When you are skeptical about something, you are like unsure, you are not believing. So do not pay attention to the difficult words at all. I'll tell you how to read it.
But
Since
sir,
19
what to do when it's a part of an answer?
hold on. So we will come to that. What will happen is, I'll tell you, 99% of the times there are no questions on difficult vocabulary.
Okay.
So there is 1% risk which I am acknowledging, but 99% of the times it is more about understanding than one particular word being tested there.
Okay, one more thing I wanted to ask: Is it is the use of high-ended words necessary in speaking?
Okay, let's not talk about speaking right now. But to answer
Yeah,
your
not
question, not required at all. You should speak the way you speak with your friends.
okay, okay.
So
Just
no need to.
someone just suggested me to use idiomatic phrases and everything in my
No,
speaking.
no, no, not at all. Not at all. I'll talk about speaking today in a while, and I'll tell you about a few experiences of people.
Not an issue at all.
Yeah, people have scored up to 8.5 bends in speaking without using a single difficult word.
Okay, so they just want the fluency, nothing else.
Exactly. You should be able to convey your ideas, that is all.
Okay.
All right. So this is one fantastic technique that you can use. In 1970s means he's talking about the past. These people at leading universities and research institutes around the world have risked. So they are risking something. I'll say something whenever there is a difficult word, risk the something of their colleagues by putting various claims. So they are claiming, people are, scientists are claiming something for telepathy. So, and this is a risk. So I can, yesterday I told you, consider these passages as if you are talking to a German guy. This is not English, this is German. And you just have to catch the signals. Don't consider yourself as if you are reading English. What is he talking about? Oh, he's talking about some history, some university. People are doing research. Is the research giving some result? No, it's not giving result. Actually, the language, the tone is like, dozens of scientific studies have done and they have put various claims. I understand claims. Okay, fine. The results of their implications are dividing even the researchers who uncovered them. So those also who have discovered telepathy are very, very confused about it. All I'm getting the sense is that first paragraph talks about confusion. This topic is not yet clear with people. Telepathy, and from the introduction, as what's your name? Bandish told. So all of you, this is super important. Don't consider English as English. Consider it as a collection of symbols and try to read from it. All right. So we see that this passage started with some kind of confusion about telepathy. They are saying that all the research has not yielded any conclusive results. All right. Let's go to the last paragraph now. So this is the Google Map technique that I was talking about. Various theories have been put forward. Just read it once, please, to yourself. So I'll give you a chance to you to read. And if somebody can explain what is going on here. Whenever there is a difficult word, say something or dash dash, whatever is there in your mind, just use it. But don't even try to pronounce it. Okay, I want you to read up to this word, minds, up to human minds. All right, just up to these 4 lines first. Stop at human minds.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
just these 4 lines. And I'll ask some specific questions about these 4, 5 lines. All right. When you are done with reading these 5 lines, simply write done in the chat box. Let me see how many of you have done reading up to this point only. Only up to minds I want you to read, only this point. So 4 people have read it. I want you to read only up till this point, up till minds. If you have read, you can either say yes, or you can unmute and say I have read, or you can type it. I know sometimes you might not find the chat box there. So whatever it is, just give me an indication that you have read it up till this point. Okay. So even if you are reading it, it is fine. I'm going to ask some simple questions and you can keep reading. What is the tense in these lines? Is it speaking in past tense, present tense, or future tense? Is it talking about something which is already done, or it's talking about something which is yet to be done? Like, what is the tense in this part?
It has already been done.
It's
Past
already
tense.
been done. Yeah. So it's talking about past tense. Up till this point, up till this point, it is all past tense. Do you agree? Various theories have been put forward, focusing on esoteric. Sharda, somehow I think you're typing it here, so please don't do that. Focusing on esoteric ideas from theoretical physicists, physics, they include quantum enlargement, in which, so basically this is all past tense, all right? And what is happening here? What exactly is the points that they are trying to make? What are these actually? For up till minds, if I have to give one word to all this paragraph, what would that be? What are
One word.
these? One word for all of this.
The research is going on.
Research.
Okay, research, all right. Any other word?
Conclusions, theories.
Theories, right? What else?
They are unable to check out the
One word, my dear. One word. I want to have one word to for the this whole part. Theories, research,
Assumptions.
huh?
Assumptions.
Assumptions. Okay. Yeah, that's all correct. Very good. Can there be some other word? You're all correct.
Research.
Research, assumptions, theories. Okay. So this is once, yeah, somebody wrote something. Let me see what is that. Information. All right. Let me tell you a jugaad. Look at this. Answering such questions. So what are these? Are they questions?
Questions.
Isn't it? So you can divide the passage like this. All this, I don't know what it is, but these are questions. These guys are confused, isn't it?
Yep.
Because it is here it is saying answering such questions would transform prayer psychology, which means all these are questions. So if I don't understand what is going on in these lines, all I understand is, okay, these guys are asking questions and they don't have answers. Some physics, some something, some something, but all these are the questions. Is that right?
Yes.
yes.
So this is one technique.
They
You can
don't
do
have any
milestoning
clarity.
here. So whenever you are doing the actual test, just write down here that these are the questions. You can just write one word that, you know, it's nothing but questions. So these are the questions. All right. This will, okay. So answering such questions would transform parapsychology. Up till now, this is all questions. And now they will tell what will happen. Are these questions? Okay. Now I want you to read this part and tell me whether what is the tense and what is happening here. These are the questions and these would be the answers.
This is in past and present both,
Okay.
wherein they are just telling us what has been done in past and what they are going to do in future.
So going to do means
That they
future.
are means answering us.
Yeah. So this is future.
Yeah.
Would. I see a lot
So
of would.
past and future both is there.
Yeah. So guys are trying to find answers and they are saying early results show that creative and artistic people do much better than average. So they are talking about this is more important than the content. Understanding the tone, as I told you, you have to catch the signals, not the information. Okay, so they ask some questions and they are saying that these questions are not yet answered. Once they get answers to these questions, probably they will understand telepathy a little better. And they are talking about some artistic people who are able to get better results. Some collection of people. Early results show that creative and artistic people do much better than average. In one study of some university at some place, 56% results they got. Perhaps more tests like these will eventually give the researchers the evidence they are seeking. So they are not yet clear, but they are looking for future. Now connect the 2 points. They started with telepathy. At that time, they said the whole community is divided. Scientists don't know what telepathy is and all that. And at the end, they say that, okay, these are the questions which are yet to be answered. But we find that some people, like artists and all, are good at telepathy. Make your own story now. What would be there in the passage here? They started with some confusion, they ended with the confusion. And the topic is telepathy. Can you make your own story? Okay. In order to make your story, just read.
Inside would be the evidences and everything.
Yeah, what has happened all through the path, what has, some kind of research done by
Yeah.
this guy, that guy, how they were able to do it. And since the whole thing is still in the state of confusion, none of the experiments would have passed, right? So you can use, this is what we call as reading with anticipation. It saves a lot of time, but of course it takes a little time to practice it. But once you are through with it, that's what I was telling. You have to do at least 15 passages of this sort to develop this thing so that you are confident about using it. Today, you are driving the car for the first time. So, driving is not difficult, but driving for the first time is difficult. Everything is difficult before it is easy. But if you go with the right techniques, you will get it. So, it might take, this passage is definitely difficult on a lot of grounds. Number one, the topic is very alien. When somebody says telepathy, nothing comes in mind because we have not seen it. Number two, the vocabulary is a little out of place. Number three, the content itself is not yet solved. I mean, telepathy is, they're not saying that telepathy works, they're saying it does not work. So something which is not existing, they are describing it. So that's what I say. You have to do 4 5 tests, so you get acquainted to the different types of passages that come there, and you learn all those things which are so very important. More important than the content is the tone. What is happening here? Okay, these guys are asking questions. What is happening here? Okay, these guys are answering them. Are they able to answer? Should be the next question. No, no, no. They are saying that if they find answer to it, they will be able to get clarity about parapsychology or telepathy, whatever it is. All right. So these are a few reading techniques that you have to practice. Now let us go to answering techniques. Please give me 1 minute. I'll share it once again. I just wanted to clean whatever is written there. Okay. So let us go to a few questions and let's try to answer them. The first question. Now, this is a question which requires combing. What you can do is read the first paragraph and try to answer that question. Or you can go with keyword search. Okay, let me show you keyword search right now. The first question says researchers with differing attitudes towards telepathy agree on. Now I don't understand what is this. All I understand is talking about researchers. The keyword is different attitudes. They have different attitudes, but they agree on. They are agreeing on something. And this is the first question. So I would assume that this might be at the beginning somewhere. Researchers with differing attitudes towards telepathy agree on. So there is some kind of agreement among researchers. So you remember in the passage there was fight among the researchers, but there has to be something on which they are agreeing. Means all of them say yes to something. There is one thing which is, so this is what we call as paraphrasing the question. Before finding the answer, paraphrase the question in your own words. And as I said, pay more attention to questions, less attention to passage. Right? See, we did not read the passage. We just tried to get the map of it. They started with a question, they ended with a question. All right, so now let me focus on this one. Researchers with differing attitudes towards telepathy agree on. So I'll read the passage and I'll try to search these keywords. See, I'm not reading the passage. I'm trying to find out these words. Researchers, different attitudes and agree on. So let me go back to the passage now. Okay, so let me give you a hint. I want you to read these two. One second. Now, see, I'm also taking so much time to read, and that is why this keyword search sometimes take a lot of time. For this kind of passage, if I were
Sir, it's in the first sentence itself, maybe, if I'm
okay,
not wrong.
let me check. Let me check. Let me just check it. Where is that? Can you please help me with that?
In second passage, some researchers say that results constitute compiling evidence that telepathy is genuine. I think there is
Actually,
an
now
answer
I've
in
got it.
this line only.
I've got it now, but then this is not a very good method. I'll still tell you what is the answer to this one, but then this is not a very good method. I'll tell you the better method than this. I want you to read this paragraph up to this point actually. Okay, read the whole paragraph and tell me what exactly. Is there any place where they talk about researchers who are agreeing on something? I mean, people with different beliefs still agree on something. Is there something here in this paragraph?
The first line itself, they are saying, no, sir, some researchers say the results constitute compelling evidence that telepathy is genuine.
So it is some researchers, not all researchers. I want a statement where all the researchers are agreeing to something. Because
Okay.
here there is some, here there is others. So this is like they are introducing a controversy here.
Yes.
The third line, skeptics and advocates alike do concur on one issue.
Yeah.
However, that the most impressive evidence so far has come from the so-called Ganzfeld experiments, a German
Perfect.
term that means the whole field.
Perfect. This is the line. Thank you for telling that. So this is the line. Skeptics and advocates concur. Concurs means they are all agreeing to this thing. What are they agreeing to?
There's an impressive evidence
What is
from the
that?
To that
experiments.
particular evidence, they are agreeing. That everyone is agreeing.
Which
Both the
evidence?
skeptics and the advocates.
Which evidence? From where?
Uh, impressive evidence has come from the Gansfeld experiments,
Yes.
which is a German term that means the whole field. So to that particular experiment, everyone is agreeing.
Perfect. Perfect. Which means they are all agreeing to this gentleman called as Gansfield, who has done some research and who has kind of told something about it. All right. So what should be the answer to this question now? Let me go take you to the question. Yeah, here it is.
Researchers with differing attitudes to telepathy.
Agree on.
The significance of Gansfeld experiments.
Perfect. That is correct. So I'm glad that you got this answer, isn't it? So see, this is how this keyword search works. But you have to be a little patient with it. And sometimes when you are skimming so fast, you may miss the word. I've done this passage like 25 times, but I still missed it. So sometimes keyword search requires a lot of patience and you have to kind of match the words because here the word was agree, there they use the word conquer, and skeptics and advocates, which is like connecting skeptics and advocates to the word differing attitudes is a little stretch of imagination, isn't it? It's not very direct. So can there be a better way than keyword search? Because it requires a lot of shuffling and reading, and maybe you would have got it, maybe you would not have got it. Is there a better way for doing this kind of questions, these kind of questions? I have a suggestion here. Why don't you do it like this? Whenever you get this kind of question, like this question, where the answers are all jumbled, you don't know which part of the passage the answer would come from. You can use combing. So what is combing? Read just one paragraph. Instead of looking at the question, now have the paragraph as an anchor. Read the first paragraph and go to the questions. The advantage would be you would not be reading a long thing again and again. You would be reading a short thing again and again. A short thing is this. Okay, let me demonstrate this to you. So
Means
I'll
we
read.
have to read all the paragraphs, na?
Hold
Sir.
on. So let me just demonstrate. I'll answer your question. Let me just demonstrate what I'm saying. I'm talking about a technique called as combing. In combing, we just read one paragraph, we understand it very carefully, and we skim through all the questions. And we see, are we able to answer any of these with the information in our mind? So I have just this much information in my mind, taking decisions would be very easy. Let me just read this part, only this much. So they introduced telepathy here and they told that people are divided. In 1970s, parapsychologists at leading universities and institutions around the world risked the derision of skeptical colleagues by putting various claims. So, things were all not clear. The results and their implications are dividing even the researchers who uncovered them. So I've read this, that, the society is divided. There is no common ground about telepathy. Let me see if I can answer a few questions with this information. Researchers with differing attitudes to telepathy, we have already done this. Reports of experiences during meditation. I cannot answer this question. Now, see, I'll tell you what is the advantage of this technique. So, meditation, there was no word of meditation there in that first paragraph. I won't answer this. Attitudes to parapsychology would alter. They are not talking about alteration of any attitude there, right? Attitudes would change. Are they talking about any change? Not really. So, I'm not
None of the
qualified to
question
answer.
was from them.
Yeah, I cannot answer this one. Recent autogens field. This word looks like quite new. I have not yet encountered it. I'm not bothered about this question right now. I'll go to the next set of questions. Gensfield studies, Otto Gensfield studies. I don't know anything about it, so I'll not answer, which means the first paragraph is just like that. it doesn't help me answer any of the questions. It is just an introduction. What I can do now, I can forget this paragraph totally because it is just an introduction. So I can, look at this now. My paragraph, my passage will keep on getting reduced in size. So this particular part of the passage has not given me any answers. I won't read it again. I'll go to the next paragraph now. So I'll keep only that much information and I'll try to answer questions. This is what we call as combing. We discussed a little bit about it yesterday, right? Where we just read one portion of the paragraph and answer questions. So can you just read this paragraph once and see? So I will ask you now, I'll quiz you. You have to tell me whether you have read something about it and can you answer it now. We have already answered. Usually it will happen that from one paragraph, there would be maximum 2 questions. It would be a rarity if you get 3 questions from the same paragraph. It would not happen very often, right? So you've already found one question. Mostly from one paragraph, there is just one question. So we have already got it, but still I want you to read it once. First, tell me what is the story here. We'll discuss a bit and then we'll go to the passage.
Sir, we get an answer regarding the meditation.
Yeah,
in
so
this
yeah,
passage.
meditation, they have mentioned it twice. So we can see if we can answer it. But yes, we can go to, so if you have read it, yeah, take your time. Once you have read, say yes. So I'll go to the questions then. We will also do a little bit of milestoning. So we'll put a few keywords here in the margin. This is again very important. If you just put a few milestones, like what can be 2 to 3 words, maximum 3 words, which they are talking about. So one is all these guys are agreeing to something. So I'll write agree, right? I'll also say meditation because this word is repeated twice. Don't write too much, just 1 or 2 words that meditation, people are getting better results and all this. I think these are the 2 things. Is there anything else? They also talk about some signals. And pay attention. I told you,
Yes.
something which is written like this must be important. They themselves are saying that it is important by putting it in quotes. Okay, so I'll write signals also. These are the 3 words which I want to focus on. Okay, let me go to the questions now. So this milestoning helps because now you have to focus on, I agree that guys were agreeing to something. There was some signals and meditation people are able to catch those signals. Researchers with different attitudes agree on. Reports of everyone during meditation indicated. Reports, experiences during meditation indicated. Can we answer this question?
The need to create a suitable environment for telepathy.
Okay, any other answer? I would like to hear from others also. Okay, so what's your name?
Suraya?
Suraya, if this one is incorrect, then
Mhm.
The claims of a high success rate.
see, look at this.
They are saying about some signals while doing meditation.
Meditation, yeah.
Yeah. So reports of experiences during meditation indicated.
A need to keep altering conditions.
Indicated in the sense they are asking some signals they are getting from.
Okay, somebody wrote something. Let me just see that also.
Is it a need to keep altering conditions?
Not really. So, okay. People who do meditation are very rare or very common? People who
Rare.
do meditation are very rare or very common?
They are very rare, sir.
They are
Not
very
common.
rare. What are they saying? That
Yes.
only those who are special people, like those who do meditation, those who do this and that, are able to do what do you call telepathy successfully. So what are they trying to say? That everybody cannot do
The
telepathy.
discovery of mechanism for telepathy.
No, don't hold on. Look at the question very carefully. What I'm trying to say. There are some special people with whom telepathy works very nicely. With others, it doesn't. So, the people who are doing meditation, we also studied in the last paragraph, artists and those people, they were able to show 56% of success rate. What does it show? If you are trying to do experiments on telepathy, what would you do? What are they trying to say? Read. You
Sir,
have to,
answer is B. Answer is B.
no, don't tell me answer is B.
The
I want reason.
the
Don't tell
reason
me.
the
You
need
don't know
to
the
create
answer.
a
I don't know
suitable
the answer. See, please hear me out. Don't say answer is B. I want a reason. Like, okay, what? How
means
does it connect with the question? Yes.
according to the question, they are saying meditation,
Huh.
and meditation is done in a suitable environment for telepathy.
Not really.
Suitable.
Could you scroll back to the passage, please, for a
Sure.
minute?
I will.
Don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Reports. Okay.
Have you read it?
Yep.
Catch the signals. Don't go into the words. Catch what he's trying to say. Look at these words. I'll tell you what is happening here.
Yep.
Suspect that telepathy might involve signals passing between people that were so faint that they were usually sent by normal brain activity. It's not about environment, it's about the brain activity. This brain activity is very, very high in normal people.
That was vamped by normal brain activity. Yeah. In this case, such signals might be more easily detected with those experiencing meditation like tranquility. Okay.
Yeah. So those who are able to experience meditation like tranquility. So it's not about the environment, it's about the mind.
It's
So
about the people and
it's about the people themselves. Yes.
Yeah.
So reports,
so
yeah.
a more careful selection of subjects.
That is correct.
I was confused with the word subject here because I didn't know whether that subject meant the people or this, or was it like the other aspect that, like,
Yeah.
was it telepathy?
Yeah. Subjects meant the people here.
Yeah. So I mean, I was not clear that if subjects meant people in this context.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think it was more clearer.
That makes sense. Yes. So for answering these kind of questions, it is better to go with what we call as combing rather than keyword search, because keyword search would make you skim through the whole passage again and again, isn't it? But now, like, since you have read this, so you have done some investment by reading the paragraph. You have done some investment by reading this paragraph, right? When you do some investment, what is the next thing?
You have to go for another paragraph.
You have to look for returns, right? So this is what is
Yes.
the funda of combing. When you invest something, you should get returns, and you should get returns as soon as possible, right? Since this is very fresh in your mind, you can actually go through all the questions and see whether you can answer some more questions also with the help of this information. All right. Gansfield studies, auto Gansfield studies. This is not yet discussed. So I can go back. See, what is the advantage of it? I'm again going to the questions and reading them. When I again and again go to the questions and read them, as soon as something related to it would come in the paragraph, it will strike my mind. What should you read
Yes.
repeatedly? The questions or the passage?
Questions.
Yeah. So, and this method is ensuring what? That you are reading questions again and again. You are reading one paragraph, with respect to that paragraph, reading all the questions. You are reading the second paragraph, with respect to that, you are again reading all the questions. When you read something again and again, the chances of remembering it would be higher. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Should you try to remember the paragraph,
Yes.
the passage, or the questions?
Yeah. Questions are shorter, so we can
Yeah,
remember it easily.
exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make. So that is why combing is my favorite, my personal favorite. It works because you don't have to remember too much, and you read questions again and again. So when that strikes, you are able to get the answer. Okay. So I would like you to do this passage, since many of you have not done it. Please do at least this one passage for tomorrow. I'll not go through all the questions because it will take a lot of time otherwise. I'll give this to you as a homework. My purpose is to take you through the part of writing today. And for writing, I will just tell you a little thing
Okay.
about it. I'll just give you one tip today about writing, and we will call it a day for today. If I have to tell you just one thing which can really make a huge change in your writing, it would be this. For introduction, for body, and for conclusion, make a list of some standard phrases. Just give me 1 minute, please. So make a list of some standard phrases for all this. All right.
Yes.
And where will you get these phrases from? Of course, from me. So I'll send you these phrases, and I'll send you some standard essays where the phrases are highlighted. Right? If you go through these essays and simply rewrite them and first make a list of phrases which are highlighted there, you'll find that you can write any essay with the help of them. What is the funda? The funda is if you go to a hotel and ask for chicken curry or chana curry, you know, what is common in chicken curry and chana curry?
Masalas.
Curry.
Curry.
So if you know how to make curry, you can make chicken curry or chana curry, whatever it is, because the curry remains the same. A vegetarian comes, give him chana curry. A non-vegetarian comes, give him chicken curry. Curry remains the same. So when you study the essays, just use this metaphor. You know, whether it is whatever topic, there would be an introduction which is supposed to be very precise. There would be body paragraph where you will be giving some examples, where you will be supporting something, where you would be opposing something. There would be a conclusion which would be very precise. There are some standard phrases and structures used in introduction, body, and conclusion, irrespective of the essay. If you study 10 essays and make a list of the phrases which are commonly used in introduction, body, and conclusion, and you master them, you can write any essay, yes or no.
Yes.
At
Yes.
least, at least it would be easy, right? Go to a dhaba. Have you ever traveled in a truck on a highway There are small dhabas there with big jars of all the
Yes.
dishes kept there, right? You
Yes.
sit there for 2 minutes, they give you any dish, and it is absolutely delicious, isn't it?
Yes.
How do they make it? They are not chefs. They are not, Sanjeev Kapoors of the world,
Yeah.
but their dishes are absolutely fantastic. Even Sanjeev Kapoor cannot make such kind of dish. These guys have mastered the curry,
Curry. Yes, sir.
The base.
and they make as good dishes as a professional would make from a five-star hotel or whatever. It might not be the most hygienic thing. It might not have the same ambience and a music playing, but as far as taste is concerned, I can vouch for it any day, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Can we learn writing essays the same method, using the same method? So if I give you
We
some
can try.
standard, huh?
We can try it.
Yeah, you can try it. So what you have to do is I'm going to give you some 12, 13 essays, very nicely drafted with all the things, body, introduction, paragraph, everything which is there. I'll also give you some recorded tutorial of this, that this is how it is drafted. This is what is going on in the examiner's mind. Why I have written this, I'll tell you that. All you have to do is make a list of your phrases, write your own essays. Something is cooking somewhere. I can see that whistle of the cooker. All right. So this is the thing. I'm going to send you those essays with all the phrases highlighted, and I'm also going to send you some 250 phrases. Don't get overwhelmed by them. You don't have to remember all 250 of them. Make a list of 30 which you like.
Okay.
See, you will cook the dish which you like the most, isn't it? If you are a vegetarian, can you cook very good chicken? If you are a
No.
non-vegetarian, can you cook very good chana? You don't like chana at all. So make a list of phrases which you like, which you love to use. So all out of these 250 phrases which I'm going to give you, make a list of some phrases which you really think are good from your perspective. Don't go by, oh, this is very, very like exclusive and exquisite. It's very special. It looks difficult. Don't go for difficult ones. Go for the
Sir,
ones which you like.
give two examples on the phrases, no? Now, so that we can uh, how to
Don't worry. I
we
don't think it is required. I'm going to send you all the essays. It's like, for example, I'll give you one example. No, can you all put yourselves on mute? I can see the whistle of the cooker. I can hear it, and I feel like eating. So, thanks to unprecedented precedented development in the field of science. Now, this phrase, thanks to unprecedented development in the field of science, can be used in any essay where you are talking about science. And this word, unprecedented, the meaning of unprecedented is, I can hear the cooker once again. Somebody is doing intentionally, it seems. AFS. Yeah. What is unprecedented? Something which has not happened up till now.
Unexpected, maybe.
Unexpected, something which is, yeah, unexpected, and unprecedented. Precedent is something for which we have an evidence, something which has happened at least once earlier, right? Thanks to unprecedented developments in the field of science. Make 10 sentences using this. This will fit into your mind. Thanks to unprecedented developments in the field of science, the world is totally changed today. Thanks to unprecedented development in the field of science, it is easy to do fast computations. Thanks to unprecedented development in the field of transportation, we can fly from one city to another in very short time. So whatever the field, you can use this phrase there to begin your essay, right? Similarly, one phrase which I like very much is, newspapers are replete with reports on. Some people say HBR has published this report. It looks very vague. Newspapers are replete with reports on. Means there are so many newspapers which talk about this subject. Reports on how pollution affects our life, how sedentary life has deleterious effect on health, whatever it is. When you talk about a trend, you can use this. Dot 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 is a case in point. Is a case in point. Is another way of talking about an example, that you are giving an example. So if you learn and master 30, 40 of such phrases, if I give you a collection of phrases with one sentence on them, with where should you use it? Is it introduction or body or conclusion? Would it be helpful? And if I also give you the essays in which they are used, if I give you the phrases with their meaning, with some sentences on them, and also the essays in which they are used, will that be helpful?
Yes.
So I'm going to send you that. There is one Excel in which you will find all the 250 phrases. You'll find the essays. You will also find where it should be used. Where should that what do you call, um, where should that phrase be used? So I'm going to send you that. I think that will help you a great deal. So I think with that, I would like to conclude today's session. In case you have any questions, you can post it there in the group. I would be very happy to answer them. But yes, you have to invest a little time to go through all the things which I am sending. Because until unless you work on them, I know, I mean, for me, it is easy to say that you have to find time. But I think that's something which I cannot create. You will have to find time to go through them so that you can develop it.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks.